With these words,
Morning,
I,
Ji.
Namrata Gupta, and my colleague Mr. Mohit Kantawal extends a very warm welcome to this Manak Mahotsav, focusing on the pivotal theme of Sustainable Development Goal 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure. The Bureau of Indian Standards, Western Regional Laboratory, is privileged to have the presence of esteemed dignitaries who share our vision of sustainable development through innovation and resilient infrastructure. Today, we come together to exchange ideas, knowledge, and experiences that will help pave the way towards a more sustainable future. World Standard Day, celebrated annually on October 14th, is a global observance that commemorates the founding of the International Organizations for Standardization (ISO) and the International Electrotechnical Commission (IEC) on October 23, 1946. These two organizations play a pivotal role in developing and maintaining international standards that govern various aspects of our lives, from manufacturing to technology and services. While these global organizations play a crucial role, Indian standards also hold significant importance in shaping our nation's development. The Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS, has been instrumental in ensuring the quality and safety of the products and services across various sectors. Each year, World Standard Day is celebrated under a specific theme that highlights a particular aspects of standardizations. Theme for the year 2024 is Shared Vision for a Better World. Organizations around the world organize various events and activities to mark the day. To officially commemorate today's Mahotsav, we would first like to welcome our distinguished dignitaries who will grace the occasion with their wisdom and insights. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Abhishek Uparwal, founder Shoket Lab, Head Technical Regulation and Standards Siemens Limited, Mr. Rahul Srivastava, and Manoj Belgaonkar. Ms. Lavanya Nupur, Digital Transformation Specialist. Our special guests from various OSL suppliers and equipment manufacturers. Scientist G and Deputy Director General, Western Region, Mr. Sanjay Goswami Sir. And Ms. Nishat S. Haq, Deputy Director General, Laboratory, Bureau of Indian Standards. We are truly honored to have them with us today. As a token
Hello,
of
good
our
morning.
appreciation, may I request Scientist E
I
and
hope you can
Head
see me also.
WRL, Mr. Manikandan K. Sir, to welcome
Okay.
our dignitaries with a bouquet of flowers. This is a small gesture to express our gratitude for your valuable insights and guidance. So I request Mr. Manikandan sir to give a bouquet to Mr. Sanjay Goswami sir. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. We would like to begin the day by lighting the ceremonial lamp. Lighting the lamp is a timeless tradition that represents the arrival of knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. I'm honored to invite our esteemed dignitaries to the dais to light the lamp and mark the official inauguration of the Manak Mahotsav. Sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Now, it is my honor to invite the head, Western Regional Laboratory, Sri Manikandan K. Sir, to deliver the welcome address and share his thoughts on the theme of today's Mahotsav.
Thank you, Namrata. A very good morning to all. Respected Nishad ma'am, DDG Laboratory, who have joined us online, virtually, and respected DDG W Sanjay Goswami sir, and dear participants and my dear colleagues, a very good morning to all, and I welcome you all to the World Standards Day celebration, Manak Mahotsav 2024. So as already my colleague informed in her dialogue that all the standards bodies celebrate World Standards Day on 14th October every year. And the theme for the World Standards Day is identified collectively by ISO, IEC and ITU. And till 2030, till considering the importance and the great initiative by UN on SDG goals, so till 2030, the theme would be around SDGs, how to ensure or how to collectively work towards a sustainable earth, how to achieve sustainable goals through standards. That is going to be the theme. And for this year, the theme is especially focusing on SDG 9, industry infrastructure and innovation in the age of AI. And in Bureau of Indian Standard, starting from the BIS headquarters in New Delhi, all the branch offices and laboratories, all regional office, we all celebrate World Standards Day. And as part of World Standards Day, the Western Regional Office located in Mumbai, we are organizing a series of programs, and this is one of such precursor to the main program that is being hosted on 14th October in Andheri East here. So in today's discussion, we will have a keynote by our senior officials in BIS, as well as we have industry leaders and experts who will be talking, giving technical presentation on the main key topic today, SDG 9 and the role of AI. And we will also discuss in today's event the crucial role of standards to ensure and to promote sustainable growth and resilient infrastructure throughout. So I hope you all will enjoy the discussions today and you will have some key takeaways. And with this, I would once again welcome you all to the event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your insightful and motivating words. We are confident that today's discussion will contribute greatly to our shared goals and sustainable industry innovation and infrastructure development. Once again, please join me in welcoming Scientist G and Deputy Director General, Western Region, Sri Sanjay Goswami, sir, for an inspiring keynote address. Sir, please.
Madam Nishad Haq, Deputy Director General Laboratory, Mr. Manikandan, Head Western Regional Laboratory BIS, esteemed speakers, and all our esteemed guests who have joined us for today's program. A very good morning to all of you. Today, as we gather to celebrate World Standards Day and the Manak Mahotsav, the world is undergoing a rapid transformation driven by technological advancements, globalization, and the pressing need for sustainable development. In this context, the role of standardization has never been more critical. The theme for this year World Standards Day, Shared Vision for a Better World, with spotlight on SDG 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure in the age of AI, is particularly timely. SDG 9, which calls for building resilient infrastructure, promoting sustainable industrialization, and fostering innovation, is a cornerstone of our collective efforts to create a more equitable and prosperous future. Artificial intelligence is emerging as a powerful force driving innovation across industries, from healthcare and manufacturing to transportation and finance. AI is revolutionizing the way we live, work, and interact. However, the full potential of AI can only be realized when it is developed and deployed in a safe, ethical, and sustainable manner. Standardization plays a crucial role in ensuring that AI technologies are developed and used responsibly by providing a common framework for AI development. Standards can help to address concerns related to data privacy, bias, and accountability. Moreover, standards can facilitate the interoperability of AI systems, enabling them to work together more effectively and efficiently. On the occasion of World Standards Day, BIS proudly highlights the critical role of standards in advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, by promoting uniformity and equality. BIS ensures that industries across India contribute to sustainable growth, innovation, and infrastructure development. At BIS, we are committed to developing and promoting standards that support the SDGs, and BIS has already started revisiting all the published standards from a sustainability perspective in the attempt. We are also contributing to the implementation of SDG 9 and also in the responsible development of artificial intelligence. Our work encompasses a wide range of areas which include developing standards for AI technologies. We are working to develop standards for various AI applications such as machine learning, natural language processing, and robotics. These standards will help to ensure that AI systems are developed and deployed in a consistent and reliable manner. Then we are also promoting the adoption of international standards. We are actively promoting the adoption of international standards related to artificial intelligence and sustainable development. By aligning with international standards, India can benefit from global best practices and participate more effectively in the global marketplace. Collaborating with industry and academia, taking cognizance of the fact that sustainability is a shared vision and shared responsibility of all, we are working closely with industry and academia to identify and address the challenges and opportunities associated with AI and sustainable development. Through collaboration, we can develop standards that meet the need of all stakeholders. As we look to the future, it is clear that the challenges and opportunities associated with sustainable development will continue to grow. However, by collaborating globally and embracing the principles of sustainability, we can ensure a healthier planet and a more equitable society. Together, we can create a world that fosters prosperity for all while preserving resources for future generations. I wish the event a great success. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such informative session. Now I request Mr. Manikandan sir to deliver a bouquet to I request Manikanda sir to deliver the bouquet to Rahul Srivastava, Head Technical Regulation and Standards, Siemens Limited. Thank you, sir. Now, with great respect, I invite Deputy Director General, Laboratories, Bureau of Indian Standards, Ms. Nishat S. Haq, ma'am, for the keynote address. She is joining us through the video conferencing.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah. So, Sanjay Goswami ji, DDG West, Sri Manikandan ji, Head Western Regional Laboratory, our esteemed speakers, my dear guests, dear colleagues, good morning to all. So every year, BIS celebrates the World Standards Day. On this day, we come together to not only recognize the importance of standards, but to also spotlight these standards contribute to a better and more sustainable world. And as pointed out, so this year's theme, Shared Vision for a Better World, spotlight on SDG 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure in the Age of AI. So this couldn't have been more relevant than today as we stand on the threshold of technological revolution driven by the artificial intelligence. At the heart of this theme lies Sustainable Development Goal 9, which emphasizes building resilient infrastructure, fostering sustainable industrialization, and encouraging innovation. These pillars are vital to creating a future that is not only technologically advanced, but is also inclusive, sustainable, and resilient. AI is transforming industries at an unprecedented pace, triggering innovations across sectors, be it agriculture, healthcare, manufacturing, transportation, energy. Nearly each sector is impacted. So as we embrace the opportunities offered by AI, it is essential that we also maintain a balanced and structured approach. So this will be possible by use of standards. And this is where the standardization comes into play. Standards are the foundation of any well-functioning system. They ensure consistency, safety, interoperability, and quality, all of which are critical for fostering sustainable industrial growth. More importantly, standards help level the playing field by providing a common language for innovation and development. In a world increasingly being shaped by AI, it is imperative that we adopt global standards, ensure that these technologies are developed and deployed in an ethical, transparent, and accountable manner. And not only do we adopt the global standards, we should also be a part of the standards when these are getting developed. So BIS as national standards body of India has always played a crucial role in this journey. We are proud to have contributed significantly to developing standards that promote innovation, they safeguard the consumer interests, safeguard the environment, and encourage sustainable development goals. Uh, as far as our laboratories are concerned, our laboratories are actively working to streamline its operations, improve accuracy, and enhance efficiency. BIS labs operate on the lab information management systems, and I am proud to say that close to around 5 lakh reports have been issued through the BIS LIMS till date. We believe that we have helped the cause of sustainability by making the entire process paperless. And there have been many other benefits of the LIMS systems. As a next step, we are integrating the LIMS with our lab equipment through which we carry out the testing. So in this way, we will be able to automate routine tasks, reduce manual errors, and ensure faster and more reliable test results. This integration not only increases productivity, but also allows our labs to maintain the highest levels of compliance with national and international standards, contributing to the overall vision of sustainable development. As we reflect on SDG 9, let us also recognize that building resilient infrastructure and fostering innovation cannot be achieved in isolation. So it requires a collaborative effort from all our stakeholders, such as the laboratories, the academia, government bodies, industry leaders, and civil society. So today's event brings together some of the brightest minds from these sectors, and we can learn and discuss on how standards can drive innovation while ensuring responsible development of AI. The knowledge exchange today will go a long way in helping us shape a sustainable future for generations to come. I would like to acknowledge and thank our distinguished speakers who have graciously agreed to share their expertise. We are eager to hear your thoughts on how AI is transforming industries and the critical role standards will play in achieving our sustainable development goals. I see that Rahul Srivastava from Siemens is present there, and Manoj Belgaonkar ji has joined through VC, and also I can see Ms. Lavanya Nupur, so digital transformation specialist. So I think we have a lot to listen in today's session. In conclusion, I will again express my deep appreciation to everyone present here today. Your participation underscores your commitment to a shared vision of a better, more sustainable world. One where innovation, infrastructure, and industry are aligned with the broader goals of social responsibility and environmental stewardship. I invite all stakeholders to collaborate with us to build robust standards, taking into account the needs of all diverse stakeholders. Thank you once again, and I look forward to the fruitful discussions which will follow. I would also mention that I would be with the meeting, but maybe I have to leave in between. So thank you, and please continue with the program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we are honored to have speakers from their respective industry association who have been instrumental in driving progress and advocating for standards that promote sustainable development. As we embark on the inspiring journey of the Manak Mahotsav, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Sri Rahul Srivastava, Head Technical Regulations and Standards, Siemens Limited, an accomplished technocrat with over 17 years of experience in the low voltage switchgear industry, renowned for his expertise in product management, lab accreditations, and active involvement in IEC and national committees, as well as his numerous published technical papers. We have Mr. Manoj Belgaonkar joining us through video conferencing to share their insight on the theme Sustainable Development Goal 9 in the Age of Artificial Intelligence and Industry Perspective. Please, sir.
So, should I share my screen?
Yeah. Good morning to all of you. So, from Siemens, we are here. I am Rahul Srivastava. Already introduction has been given. Mr. Manoj ji is joining from the VC, and I think there is a topic of AI, how the AI is supporting to the industry as well as how the AI is helping in the industrialization topic that we will now going to share with you. So before that, I would like to say thanks to BIS, Mumbai region, BIS lab, Mr. Manikananda for inviting us here on the day of the standards, celebrating the World Standard Day. Thank you for this, because if this is celebrating not today, on Monday, then I could not be the part, because Monday we are traveling to Delhi. This year, the opportunity is with us, so I would like to share with this the achievement that on Monday I am getting the 1906 IEC award also. So that will be felicitation will be happen on Monday at New Delhi office. It's for the standardization contribution in the IC committees where I am the part, and from the low voltage side we are contributing there. So that's overall scenario, and that's why I am obliged to be here today. So over to you, Manoj ji.
Thank you. Uh, you put the slides?
Yes, the slides are there.
Okay. Uh, so first of all, again, thank you very much, BIS, for inviting us to be part of this occasion of World Standards Day. And I think many initiatives which BIS takes, they really go a long way. And we are really happy to be part of such initiatives. So would like to contribute also in developing standards which supports India's growth. Uh, this is a tool which I would like to share information, AI for sustainability, and this is completely developed in our technology lab in India, and which is being used by global headquarters, global customers. But before I begin, whether my voice is clear or do I need to increase?
Hope the voice is clear to all of you.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, I think there is some echo, it seems. So go to next slide, please. Or if you can change the slide, please. Thank you. So we have Siemens has a degree framework, and which is our commitment to sustainability. And we would like to have make sure that enable every Siemens product and service what we deliver to achieve sustainability targets through domain-specific AI-powered circular economy models. We are talking about modeling, and models for what? For the 3 Rs: reduce, reuse, and recycle. And these are the models which I'm going to share with you. How in future AI will contribute to SDG 9 for industry problems. Next slide, please. So you can just change to the next slide now. Yeah, thank you. So you can see there are 3 topics. One is, of course, energy efficiency and decarbonization. Second is the resource efficiency and circularity. And third is the people-centric and societal impact. So these are the 3 topics. And for each of the 4 verticals, whether it is industry, buildings, and mobility, and smart infrastructure or electrification sector. So the statements made are completely different. The problem statements for this are completely different. For example, for our topic, resource efficiency, we are looking at how can we use digital twin for reduced material or water and energy usage, or it can be optimized building space utilization, etc. So today we are going to talk about for industry problem statements, how are we delivering this particular topic using AI. So if you see at the bottom, you will see a circle and which is having 5 components. So when we start our journey on circular economy, the first topic comes, of course, is the policy part, right? Operational compliance. So what is the framework we are going to use and what are the sustainability scores which are required? Because it could be depending on different sectors, could be a hospital as another sector, building as another sector. So sector specific targets, sector specific policies could be which the designer will have to keep in mind. Then comes the design aspect. So when we are trying to choose materials, so we also need to look at the environmental impact. We need to also look at the material properties, the application of the product, or maybe availability of the material. Is it proximate to the manufacturing, or it is to be imported? Needs to make choices with respect to do we make this in house or do we procure from outside? So once the product is made and it starts manufacturing, then you also need to look at the demand fulfillment. And that's where it comes is what is the quality you are able to get, performance, functionalities, as well as what is the kind of inventory you are required to keep, and how do we keep the whole logistics supply chain, the forward supply chain, and the impact of using that supply chain. And lastly, when we are going to end of life, that's again we need to go back and look at end of life handling, transit damages, predictive maintenance, part of it. So many of these dimensions you can see one needs to consider while the product is still in a design stage, while the product is still in a conceptual stage, and that's where the sustainability topics get start discussion right in the initial phase itself. Next slide, please. Yes. Now you will see a complex knowledge graph on the right hand side, but to make it simple, so we have 4 roles we are talking about. Designer, he is looking at product design. While he's looking at that, he is also looking at operating conditions, operating geography, whether the product will be used in Africa, will be used in Europe, will be used in India. So geographical conditions also he needs to look at while making material choices. And on top of it, he also need to look at whether he's going to use the recovered material or a recycled material. So the question is, when he starts searching, what are the alternate materials that match the operating conditions of our geographical compliance? Yeah. Maybe a specific material is carbon expensive, so I would like to use recycled plastic instead. So he also makes decision based on these AI algorithms. Once you go next to the manufacturing phase, then okay, design is available, then he needs to look into material sourcing. He needs to look at inventory and who's going to own that inventory. Then he needs to also formulate a contract with suppliers. Yeah, place the order and ultimately assemble product and deliver it to customer. So is the recycled inventory available from my supplier? So the supplier who is supplying, is he able to supply you recycled material also along with the virgin material? What are the contractual elements I need to put in when I'm talking to my supplier so that he ensures my circularity compliance, because my compliance depends on his compliance as well, right? Coming to the last point, customer. So once the product is delivered, he starts using the product, and when it is end of life, he needs to notify processors. So notify users on maintenance of components so that the life can be extended without having to replace. What is the current status of sustainability target? Because you have to also continuously look at the KPIs as well. So you need this information as part of your KPI reporting as well. Once the product is notified for end of recycle, then the processor comes into place. He collects the material, he dismantles it, then he receives inventory, he evaluates this inventory, because based on this we are going to get our money. Yeah. So process inventory, and then he ships the order back in, as far as material is concerned, the recycled material or recovered material. So inventory that is up for handling is virgin plastic, which is capable of being recycled. So he's going to verify, he's going to make a decision, the recycler. And are there any materials for processing as per circularity, right? So this is again a search which I need to do as part of my design, because I might have assumed that when I recycle this, I will get 40% material back, but actually I'm able to get only say 20% because the maintenance was not good. So accordingly, I need to go back into my design cycle as well. So it is not only simple choice of making one material, but you also need to look at the different constraints while choosing the materials. So we will see that in the next slide. The next slide, please. So, and you can see it also involves various stakeholders throughout the product life cycle. So this is how the whole graph looks like. The product composition, material properties, circularity method, policy compliance, inventory management, logistics management, which geographic region, applicable industry, the use, ultimate use, operational behavior, the behavior of the users who are going to use my. So all this information is required to be considered as a single source of knowledge around which various AI models they work upon to deliver use cases. So what kind of use cases we are talking about? One use case could be a circularity aligned performance based choices upfront while I'm doing design or engineering, right? So that's the first part, as like design what we just said. Second could be optimal reliable supply chain, entity engagement and related contractual interaction. Because I might want something, but if I see my suppliers are able to deliver only up to this much, then I need to also look at the contractual agreements as well. Or the next use case could be prevent wastage by extending component life with a predictive maintenance. So rather than looking at a breakdown maintenance, how can I give him a sufficient information that a maintenance is due and you can plan in a systematic manner. And lastly, integration with the tools for sustainability metric computation, because the aspirations will change and many of these metrics are a systematic metric. I mean, this year 20%, next year 30%. So they are actually going to increase as the time go up and trying to reach a particular level, and no one knows whether the targets are in line with what technology can do or what actual reality can achieve. I mean, assume someone says that please make sure 60% of recycled material is used in battery. And if my technology can extract only up to 40%, now this is where we will always have a shortfall when we report back to regulators about this particular topic. And that's why it is extremely important that we also need a systematic data, so which can be shared transparently with the regulators as well, so that a proper target computation can be done on this. So next slide, please. So this is how the complex ontology-based knowledge graph looks like. And you can see from product to components to materials, but at the same time, from material to storage, logistics, property, policy, geography, also to industry, method. So a lot of interrelations, a lot of linkages. And on the left-hand side, you see different properties which are required to be also considered while an AI model is being used. Yeah, it could be a transformer, it could be a turbine, it could be plastic, material, resin, truck, rail, and multiple options we are required to consider. And they are all coming out of systematic bill of material and various kinds of environment protection declarations what we are required to deliver. So we need to look at all these properties put together as a combined model, and which can be subjected to various AI analysis. Next, please. Yes. So now you can see the kind of questions which it is asking. I have a short video actually for 2 minutes, not more. But let me first complete this and then I will show that video. So there are the two products which we are looking at. One product is HMI casing, and second product is a casting, motor winding design in a motor. So there are two different products, and what kind of questions are typically used? Yeah, it could be he's asking that help me as a HMI panel casting decision respecting circularity, and he's also asking help me in winding design respecting circularity. So on the right hand side, maybe let me just share my video. There is no volume, so I will talk about it. Can you see the video? Yeah. So these are the three assistants it has. This tool has. One is sustainable alternative material. Yeah. The second assistant is the design assistant, which suggests sustainable design ideas for analyzing bill of material and based on whatever choices you are making for material and design. Yeah, it would like to tell you about what sustainability results you are going to achieve. So these are the three different assistants.
Manoj, are you sharing some video?
I'm sharing a video. I can see you are able to see the video, but there is no voice.
Can you?
Are you able to see the video?
No, no. As of now, no.
Yes, Manojji.
Ba.
Module means the view. You have to change the view.
Are you able to see?
Manojji, it is shared. Probably it is not projected there.
What do I do? Watch. Because it shows me you are sharing a Windows Media Player. That's what.
Video है ना?
Yeah, now we can see.
Now we can see. Yeah.
Okay. Then let me just start from the beginning part. I'm sorry. Yeah. So these are the three assistants which it has, and you can see each of these it is making, and it is asking a question. So bill of material it is assisting. First is the material assistant. It is helping you to choose a material. Which material? So it gives you options on the left hand side. So you can go to the knowledge graph. Yeah. You can go to the knowledge graph and select which property is important for it. Right. Second, so you will see this options it is giving in material. The second is in the design stage. The second assistant will. So it is now asking for a design. So how should I design? Which material I'm going to use and which geography I'm going to use this. So again, it looks at our bill of material. It looks at the properties. It looks at the application, what we are going to use this for. Again, you go to knowledge graph. You select the specific properties which are relevant, and then it gives you options on the left-hand side first. And as you vary around the options, it gives you both pluses and minuses. So once you select the various properties which are relevant from the knowledge graph, and these are not simple optimization, these are actually much more complex. So here you can see your suggestions and what are the advantages and what are the cautions as well for each of the material being chosen, the decision being made. The third is a report. Based on the choices which you have made, what will be the sustainability performance it will deliver in terms of product carbon footprint, in terms of energy efficiency, whatever we are talking, or it can also be in terms of the performance deterioration as well. So again, it looks at the bill of material now, the choices made. You can select the critical attributes from the knowledge graph. And it gives you again the options for the same. So I will just stop here, Rahul. You can start again. It was just a simple 2-minute video. Idea is how this assistant looks like and how it picks up from the various knowledge graphs that we had. So what kind of choices now it has thrown up? So we'll just see that on the slides. Yes. So here you can see the system response now. So one is, for example, it is making a suggestion to you. You can create a rounded rectangular indents for stability and strength. So you're looking at HMI case, and at the case towards the corners, it is saying you can make a rounded corners for better stability and strength. Yeah. For winding, it is saying you can make a winding as a cross section in a rectangular cross section for better filling fact. So it gives you different suggestions. You can also look at various variants with the recovered steel, with recovered copper, mined steel, mined aluminum. So 4 choices. Maybe at the next option is recycled plastic variant of C1 composition with a lesser product carbon footprint. But it also tells you at the bottom, for the copper, for example, you may have a variant with a lesser product carbon footprint, but a weaker performance. Or you can also use, instead of recycled plastic, you can use virgin plastic, but higher product carbon footprint. Yeah. Instead of again recovered copper, you can use mined aluminum variation with a higher product carbon footprint, but a stronger performance. Or you can use a metal variant with a constraint of not more than 40 degrees operating condition as well. Or last could be you can use a plastic variant without any operating condition environment. So you can see it gives you multiple choices based on the knowledge graph and based on the considerations, and you are really very able to calculate systematically various sustainability parameters around product carbon footprint, energy efficiency, recovery, life span as well. So multiple dimensions this particular AI model is helping you to calculate for circular economy. Next slide, please. Yes, so it helps you, this whole technology, what you just saw, it helps us definitely in searching. Yeah, because it's quite a complex queries and which are just beyond typical optimization, which also looks into multiple things, availability, the logistics, and. So in a sense, it also supports our decisions. And not only it supports decisions before we actually make a prototype, it also helps us in verification of all these choices, what we are going to make. And ultimately, since we are having this whole thing in a digital manner, so a very systematic way of managing this data and data security as well, because the data comes from multiple sources, from suppliers, from manufacturers, etc. So, but it's a verifiable data, and that's where data management becomes also very important so that it can be proven later as part of our regulatory filings as well. Next slide, please. I think this is the yeah. So these are the features offered by this model. What we are talking. This is, and we are really happy to share. This model is developed by our technology center in Bangalore, and which is being shared globally with various customers, with various industries also. And these are the various rules you can build, search domain-specific rules, KPI calculations, decision support, recommended actions, and as well as other actions which today we may not have seen. Lastly, we also have another tool called C Green, which actually helps you to build, which is a customized product, like panels, for example, automation panels, which are a customized product. So how do you calculate product carbon footprint based on a bill of material, which comes from multiple sources, like transformers coming from someone, cabinet coming from someone, computer coming from someone. So how do you put all these things together to calculate your own, because each panel configuration is different, and that's where this tool helps you to calculate such kind of declarations what are required and make similar modeling as well. And this really very systematically integrates this eGreen along with this model, so that even if the product is not a catalog product, even if the product is a customized product, you are still able to calculate these parameters as well. Next slide, please. Yes. So to summarize, existing sustainability programs you may have. These are some of the programs which are run in Germany, Eastern Trusted Traceability. Along with this tool, AI for Circular Economy, we are able to deliver AI for sustainability with really enriched offerings around this. So trying to break the data silos, trying to make sure that various semantics properties are calculated, are used as part of a knowledge graphs and large language models to support the decisions and make concrete recommendations to the management, which are data backed as well. I think this is the last slide from my side. I'm not sure if there are any questions, or we can also look at questions at the last as well. Thank you. So this is the last slide actually. So if someone is interested, we are really happy to be partnering with them to make a prototype or to use your problem statements, how to support you in your journey.
Anybody have any question? Okay then. Thank you,
So
sir.
this is the last slide. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like Mr. Rahul, sir, to continue the session.
So as what I think it's echo. As we can see in the slides, previous slides, that how the AI for the sustainability and how it is for the circular economy, the main elements which are involved, basically starting from the design phase. So that means from the design to manufacturing, then process and to deliver. So the all key elements which are involved in this circular economy, that is taken care now. And also a lot of, I can say this is the topic which is also last 5 years before it was a buzzword for everyone. Now it's a topic to understand, to gain more knowledge, and also to brainstorm with the industry as well as academia, as well as the standard bodies also now. So this is a challenge I can see also now in the IEC forum when we are discussing in the IEC level also. Last meeting we had been in the France, and there was a discussion going on that how to handle this AI topic into the, basically into the 4 elements. First element is surely in the standards, because anyway we have switchgear products, for example, low voltage, medium voltage or high voltage. So the important thing is how to handle the air, how the products can be reactive, how the products to be understand well in the time that this AI is supporting. The second important topic is about the material, which is I think covered by many slides by Manojji also, because that material topic is still very important, and also that's an important topic that to understand that whether the reusable material to use, that how has to be validated and how it has to be used in the manufacturing process also, because that manufacturing also has to be taken care of these recycled material. And the third element which is important is in the manufacturing, that when manufacturing goes on, then this recyclability or what we call as a AI, that AI has to be handled in which fashion, That means there are many, if you understand the manufacturing process, then the manufacturing process, lot of standards are there on the machineries also. That means that AI also, this word or this complete ecosystem also has to be taken care in the standards of the machineries. So this is a new step what each and every country is now taking care and also discussing in a very larger forum. The fourth important topic is the final, when the material or when the product is completed the lifetime. So then how the recyclability has to take care for these things. So the all in all, if you see the four stages, the AI is taking complete take care. Right now, the very, I could say the very important set that now our kids are using. I can see that my 8-year-old son is using the AI. That means there is a chat GPT and they are putting that how to write an essay. That's a very small example you can see. For very small example, that if you write it World Standard Day, that chat GPT will give you at least 400 lines on World Standard Day. But what to take it from there and what to implement it is very important, and how it has to be standardized. That's a very important and very challenging efforts nowadays, that which is very important because it's a database. AI is taking from everything from their database, and AI is also learning from us what we are putting there. If we are putting some information like geographical condition, like BIS, then the AI is also storing that information, but without knowing that whether the information is clear or not. That means that filter process is not there. So this is also a very important thing to understand in future, that how we have to take care about the AI. It's not easy topic, but yes, this is the brainstorming going on at each and every level, at each and every process level, and hope this will come in the future with a better way to collaborate with the industry, standard bodies, and also the academia. With this, thank you very much. Thanks to BS for hosting this important topic. Thank you from my side.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your wonderful insights. Now, our next session features Sri Abhishek Aparwal, founder and CEO of Socket AI Lab and a data scientist with over 8 years of experience, specializing in AI and high performance computing, focusing on societal solutions through a modular AI platform and a multilingual foundation model. His vision is to leverage AI to solve the societal challenges, a mission that drives his startup. I request the speaker to share his insights on the theme leveraging AI for smarter cities, from AI cameras to smart traffic signals. Sir is joining through the video conference.
Good morning, everyone. I hope my screen is visible. Can someone please confirm that?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. First of all, thanks for inviting me. I'll be presenting on leveraging AI for smart cities. It's been very close to me. Maybe before we begin, just some context on who I am, why I'm talking over here, why it should be relevant. So I'm the founder and CEO of Socket AI Labs. We are building foundational language models, but our focus is on vernacular languages, so Indian languages. Speaker before me have been talking about large language models, but primarily all these language models from OpenAI or any other Claude, any other entity who has been building in the West, have neglected our own languages, and these models don't typically perform that well for Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Kannada, all the Indian languages. So we are actually trying to solve that particular bit. I have also had the experience of working with Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in the Smart Cities Mission Division directly under the Joint Secretary over there for almost like 3 years. Most of my work over there was mostly data driven. I was working on these data science projects, leveraging AI at that particular time for helping smart cities in different aspects. And my topic today covers most of these aspects itself. So instead of going into depth on certain things, I'll keep my presentation on a horizontal level where I'll be talking about the entire spectrum of how AI has been leveraged in our smart cities. I'll be more than happy to actually dive into some of these aspects if time permits. Otherwise, I'll be more than happy to take questions towards the end. So to begin with, I think all of you understand that, or knows, or you would have seen or experienced even if you live in one of these smart cities, that you're actually surrounded by technology. And most of these technologies are an amalgamation of hardware and software combined working together, right? You have smart cameras, you have these ICCCs or integrated command and control center. And how typically they work is that you have a hardware like a smart camera and a software running within that particular smart camera to capture some of the activities and then ultimately reporting it out. That's just one of the, I would say, instances or use cases that these smart cities, how they are leveraging technology. And standardization actually plays a very important role in everything. Like personally working with smart cities, I have seen that most of these equipments do have to support certain standards to be made compatible or interoperable when it comes to deploying these at scale. Otherwise, we would never be able to like deploy all these solutions at scale uh, uh, and the kind of complexities that they have. I think standardization plays a very important role in gluing everything together. So let me dive into topic by topic. So what I've done is I've kept the presentation very brief, but I'll be covering some of the aspects around certain thematic areas and then going into some of the examples on how we are solving for these thematic areas. So the first one is definitely AI for traffic management. Uh, so this is one of the work that we have actually done at the ministry at that particular time. So you would have seen that most of our metropolitan cities are choked with traffic, and literally no one has a solution to them. And obviously we also don't have a solution because I think it's a collective effort that we have to put into. But there was an effort where what we did was we actually leveraged AI to capture some of the data that existed in the public domain and to ultimately create a predictive analytical tool to inform the city on how traffic situation is affecting certain aspects in the city and maybe how that can be solved using some of the techniques that city was leveraging. So it was a two-way tool where the efforts that were going by the city into traffic management, we were giving them certain analysis on top of them, and then also doing some sort of predictive analytics to inform them how the situation might get worse or better depending on what actions they were taking at that particular time in the city. So you can see on the right hand side, this is OD. OD is basically origin destination map, where if you give an origin, the color highlights the density of time or the traffic that you would take for getting from this particular point in the center to the entire Bangalore. And the two graphs basically reflect this situation is with moderate traffic, and the second situation is with moderate traffic, and the first situation is with very high intensity traffic or with these peak hour situations that are happening on Google Maps. You would have seen like our Google Maps are mostly red during evening and during the daytime when there is office hours. And what we were able to do was also leverage predictive AI to get some of the numbers on how much fuel consumption you would have, or what kind of carbon emissions you would have, what's your carbon footprint when you are stuck in peak traffic. So just to give you a gist, so this is from one place to Bellandur in Bangalore. In normal moderate traffic, it's about 1 hour 7 minutes. But when you increase the traffic intensity to maximum, you are literally spending twice the time to go to the same place in that particular situation, and you are literally wasting almost twice the fuel and emitting almost twice the carbon footprint because of that particular bit. So again, as I said, this was more like an informative tool for the city, leveraging AI, and also for the citizens. We actually deployed it out for citizens to ultimately visualize and see, because visualization, I think, makes more impact. And we move to the next one. So this is a very interesting use case. I think Indore actually implemented it, where what was happening was that for waste management, the waste collection cars were literally going from one place to another without even understanding where is the demand. Like, for example, demand could be what's that optimal route to take ultimately to collect the waste resources. So what the smart city was able to do was they were again able to utilize some of these AI techniques to do or map out these routes very, very optimally. So what was happening was that ultimately when you are going from one place to another, you are obviously consuming less fuel. You were able to do waste collection very efficiently. And some of these initiatives also had these sensors in the smart bin where you might be able to like skip certain of these waste collection bins just because they are not filled yet. So waste collection can happen like 2 days later or 3 days later, and you can just optimize that particular bit as well. So this was happening on real time, again supported by an AI engine at the back end to do this particular bit. Uh, again, this is a very interesting use case again. So what's happening in smart cities is that most of the smart cities are right now relying on solar energy for renewable power. But the problem is that we don't know whether a solar station would be feasible in a particular society or a specific complex or not. So what's happening now is that, again, we are taking all these satellite images. uh, uh, Using the satellite images, we are able to see, and some of the ground sensors as well, just to estimate what's the solar radiant at that particular area, and again leverage a GIS-based AI system to ultimately map out the intensity of solar radiation so that the output of the solar could be maximized. And this is again a predictive analytical tool where what's happening is that once we have this data, AI is actually giving us predictions and suggestions on how and where we should actually deploy our solar panels to get maximum efficiency out of them. So again, a very, very important use case, especially looking at the renewable side of things. Uh, so this one, again, we implemented it in at the ministry level itself. So the problem was that we do a lot of work, like ministry do a lot of work around urban planning, but there was a fundamental data that was missing. So we do conduct census, but the problem with census is that it's on a very broad level. So either you go to a ward or maybe to a subdivision of the ward, but you don't get very, very fine-grained level information about where people live, what are they doing, how is that growth happening on an year-to-year basis, because obviously 10-year period is a long period of time. So what we did was we again leveraged the nightlight data, that is again a satellite information, basically pictures at night of a certain region. And what we were able to do was ultimately leverage an AI model to go from the nightlight information to predicting the population density across the country. So what you are seeing on the right-hand side is basically a division. Left-hand side is somewhere in 1993, and the right-hand side is somewhere in 2024. And you can see the drastic difference in population just given the nightlight information. So again, this was sort of like a tool to give information to the urban planners on how our cities are evolving. The interesting thing that happened when we gave this data to some of the urban planners was that they were able to see some of these new clusters forming in the very recent years. So in the past 5 to 10 years, there were these new, not metropolitan, but basically new emergent cities that were coming out, which were never actually visible on the map before these 5 to 10 years. So what could happen is that the ministry can actually plan and deploy resources in these new areas as well, which are now emerging and could be like a hub for employment, could be hub for industrialization, could be hub for many other activities. And you could very easily see this almost on a day-to-day basis, because you can literally capture nightlight information on a day-to-day basis, see our cities evolving, and ultimately plan out certain aspects around the data that we are capturing. Again, this is more like an informative tool, and we have leveraged AI to ultimately predict all these population statistics. And once you have population statistics, you can actually take more proxy data around it, give it to another AI model, and do multiple things with that particular information. So I think this is a very famous example for event management. You would have seen it in the news as well, that many of Prayagraj Smart City, for example, have leveraged crowd management or event management, like through CCTV cameras, identifying faces, identifying the crowd density, deploying their resources at a specific place. So these are very common use cases now, which people have been leveraging. I'll move to the next one. I have a very small video for you guys. So this is around healthcare management. I'll show you the video, and then I'll talk about what that basically is. Just confirm if my audio, the audio of the video is not audible. Just let me know. I'll just play it.
Sir, is there any audio in this video? Because we are not listening the audio. Abhi? Yeah. Yeah. Sir, is there any audio? Because
Oh,
we are
yeah,
not
yeah.
listening.
So were you not able to hear it?
Yeah, we are not
Okay,
getting.
okay, cool. So let me do one thing. Let me just go through it. I won't. I'll just put it on mute and I can just explain it once. So this is a project that we did in Surat. Uh, and can you please mute? I think there is an echo in the back end. Thanks. Thank you. So this project we actually did in Surat. This is called Wastewater Intelligence Network, and this was done during the COVID times. Just after the second wave actually hit India, we were trying to like do it even during the second wave, but we were not able to do this. Again, I think that our government is not that proactive for sure. So this was done under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and with support from NIUA as well. And Surat Municipal Corporation also participated in this. The core idea was that the infection was rising so fast that we were actually not able to understand or take any preemptive action during that particular time, right? So, but what was happening was that, or the process is that whenever you are infected with COVID-19, ultimately when you shed it or when you use your toilet, most of these viral DNAs are actually shed into your wastewater. And what we can do is that we can actually collect the wastewater and do an RT-PCR on that particular wastewater with a bit of cleaning or tweaking in the RT-PCR and ultimately get the viral load in the sample that we actually collected. So what we did was we went out in almost like in a ward, we went out to multiple sewage treatment plants, collected sewage samples from there. And we also had like this amazing GIS data that Surat City has, so that we can actually understand like what's the catchment area of that particular sewage treatment plant. We also went out to some of these manholes, collected the data from there just to get a smaller catchment area, and ultimately did an RT-PCR on that particular data, and we were able to understand the viral load. But then the problem was that that viral load were not giving us the direct information of how many people were infected in that particular area. And that is where actually AI actually help us a lot. What we were able to do, we actually leverage predictive analytics, again, predictive AI to go from the viral load to understanding the number of people or the percentage population that was infected in that area. And what we were able to do, I'll just fast forward it. We actually created this tool for Surat Smart City. I'll just show you very quickly. So this tool we created for Surat Smart City, which was showing all these results in real time to the city. So whenever the sample was collected, it was RT-PCR and then went to this entire AI model, and then ultimately predictions were happening in real time on the viral load of the sample, and then ultimately converting that to ward level information. That okay, in this particular ward, in this particular catchment area, certain percentage of people are actually infected. What was happening was that we were able to do this prediction 4 to 7 days before people were actually going to the hospital. Ultimately, they were getting their RT-PCR or swabs testing done. So we had that buffer time of 4 to 7 days that we were able to achieve and give information to the city. And then obviously the city can then take more preemptive action, that they can actually go to specific areas where the viral load is increasing, do house-to-house testing, and then ultimately prevent or do cordon offing, not spread the virus outside that particular area. So this was a very, it's a project close to my heart. It's also a demonstration how new age technology, especially AI, actually combined with some of the things which we are already doing. RT-PCR is a very well-known technology, right? So combining that with an existing technology, a new technology can do wonders out there. So that is a project about. Ultimately, so I'll stop the video, I'll flip back to the presentation. So that is another interesting use case that we were able to implement in the smart city. And now coming to some of the new age things, like whatever I've spoken till now is mostly predictive analytics or predictive AI. But now we are moving to Gen AI, and the speaker before me actually spoke about creating these language models to do some of these tasks. So I think we are definitely moving towards it, where generative AI now will start coming and in our lives, especially from a smartest city point of view. So for example, when I was at NIUA, we were already leveraging all these tools like ChatGPT to create some of our policies. So what was happening was that there are a lot of background policies or these documents that are already available. Crunching information from them and bringing it to a state where you can actually do a lot more from these documents is a bit tricky because you might have to review, say, 50 different documents that government has generated. So over there, policy formulation and even suggestion based on the past policies that have come into picture plays a very important role. Right now, we are also at Socket AI is working on these interactive health desks, not specifically for smart cities, but these are generic health desks where speech-to-speech technologies can be leveraged. And in the future, maybe a smarter city, you won't be interacting with a human, you would be interacting with an AI agent who would be solving for your problem or maybe registering your complaint about certain things. And the ultimate outcome of generative AI, which I definitely want to see, is where generative AI or AI sits at the center, might be able to take certain actions, and we are not human dependent on some of these very repetitive tasks. Say, for example, I registered a complaint, my road is not, my road is broken or something of that sort. Maybe an AI can directly assign work to these companies who are already available in the database and assign work and then get the work done, and even can look at the timeline bit as well. I'm sure that it would be better than relying on humans because AI would be unbiased and would be able to perform under a specific deadline for sure. So some of these futuristic use cases, I think they are now coming up. People are building them. We are also trying to attempt it, and hope to see them soon. Yes, that's my presentation, very small one, but I'll be more than happy to take questions right now or towards the end. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledgeable thoughts. Next, we have with us Ms. Lavanya Nupur, a digital transformation specialist. She is a seasoned professional in digital transformation and strategic innovation with experience in sectors such as smart cities and manufacturing. As head of digital innovation at a leading glass packaging company, she has driven impactful initiatives and developed digital solutions, while contributing to standardization effort aligned with the objective of Sustainable Development Goal 9 for the sustainable development. She will share her insight on artificial intelligence, future potential risks, and key considerations. Ma'am. Oh.
Right. Thank you so much for the introduction. Please let me know when you can see the screen.
Yes, ma'am. We are visible now.
It's visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. All right. So I will not take a lot of time explaining about things which are already covered. What I'll do is I'll try to show what are the future potentials of AI, what are the risks, and what are the key considerations that we should keep in mind while adopting this brilliant technology that is there with us now. So we'll start off with SDG 9, whose goal is building a better, equitable, and sustainable future, right? So no longer are only the rich countries or the rich nations driving these initiatives. It's also developing nations, which is running amok with the help of the new technologies to achieve the goals that are set by the bodies like UN. If you look at the goals on the right, you see that we have developed sustainable, resilient, and inclusive infrastructures, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and provide upgrade all industries and infrastructure for sustainability. Now, though these are stated goals, while we are doing that, it also asks for us to facilitate sustainable infrastructure for developing nations and get them the technology that is needed to achieve that, including universal access to information and communication technology. Now, how it is going to shape the world that is in front of us is maybe someone is not very good in English or French or German or Hindi or Sinhala, right? Or Marathi for that extent. But does that mean that they can't leverage the knowledge that surrounds us, or what stops them actually? So this is where AI steps in, and what we have already started implementing at our organization and many other organizations have taken us is having a transliteration of the text and getting answers in the same local language. So there are startups which have come up which are helping the workers at plant level and also helping the senior management level with the reports that they need, right? So there is skill upgrade, there is universal access to knowledge, and there is a high chance of enhanced innovation. In fact, many of the tech leaders also don't know how fast AI is going to shape up and how fast the growth is going to be. So we are at that juncture right now where we see future potentials which are immense for humanity. I will quickly go to the next slide because most of these things are already covered by the previous speakers. Right. Now, while we have a lot of potentials of AI, there is also some news that comes in, and that's not um, very good for us as a user of technology, right? Not neither as a user of technology nor as a regulator when BIS comes into picture, or as adopters when the labs come into picture. If you look at few of the news items, you'll see that studies from 2019 and 2021 show that deepfakes, they are primarily used for things which are not good for people's morale or health either, right? So there was some guy in US who noticed that his daughter who was dead, her image and her name was used by a chatbot on the platform character.ai. He was not aware of it, and that character, that AI bot, already had a lot of conversation by then, and people reached out to this father, the grieving father, that we interacted with your daughter. So how important it is that these kind of risks are acknowledged. If you look at the bottom right side of the screen, you'd notice that there's a news of Otter AI accidentally transcripting confidential conversation. How many of us are using Otter AI or such transcription services right now in the room? If you can raise your hand, do you use Otter? Any other transcription services in our meetings? Okay, so what Otter's does
Ma'am,
is
there are
takes
none in
notes.
this room.
Can
you hear me?
What Otter does is it takes the notes, Otter transcribes it for us, Otter creates an action item list, etc. Right? Now we know that this is a good service for us, but what actually happens is even after you stop recording, it might continue recording your private conversation, which is not good, right? Neither from confidentiality part of the view, and nor from the knowledge that we have stopped the system, so it should stop recording, right? We have exited the meeting, hence it should have stopped recording. It does not. And these are the cases that are just coming up. There's also a big problem of consolidation of power. The big tech, as we know it, they are dominating and they have a lot to make from the technology, which is why a lot of tech companies are against regulation of AI, right? Which doesn't help anyone from a personal point of view or nor from an industrial point of view. There is another news of Microsoft's AI push is impacting the climate goal, which is key part of SDG 9, right? Its carbon emission jumped from 2020 to 2023 by 30%. Again, we are going backwards from where we want to be. So these are few of the news. Nothing is completely doom and gloom. I would not want the esteemed presence here to think that we are only trying to showcase the bad side of it. We have obviously seen what are the good impacts and what are the benefits of using AI. However, we need to be aware of what could be the bad impact, right? It's never bad to not know about the dark side, because it helps us in preparing ourselves from future perils. Let's go to the next slide. Risk in a snapshot. There is bias and fairness. While it gives us a universal access of knowledge. The model could be biased, the output could be biased because of the training that it got. Um, and that's a definite risk. There are privacy and security concerns, as you'd have seen from the example that we saw of Otter. There is power
Hello.
concentration issue. Again, it is not good from an SDG 9 perspective.
Hello.
Ethical consideration, of course, when it is being used in deep fakes and to, harass or stalk people. And then there are other risks like energy consumption. AI consumes gas, like, it's a gas guzzling industry right now. It could not be in future, but right now it is. And then there is a data misuse and consent issue. Many of us are on LinkedIn, right? Can you please raise your hand? How many of us are on LinkedIn in this room?
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry for the interruption. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, one of our guests want to have a query. She's from EnviroCare. Ma'am, please. Yeah.
So it's
Yes,
about your
please.
previous slide.
Yes.
You mentioned that AI captures what we speak in the meetings, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I would just like to understand, is it the same like Meet Geek does? How is it connected to this? And how authentic is Meet Geek capturing what meetings you have?
Ma'am, the capturing of notes is not a bad thing. No one wants to be the note taker, right? So it eases our lives. What happened is, it keeps this particular news is when the AI kept on recording, even when the meeting was ended. So that's the main problem. The problem is not transcription, or the problem is not note keeping, but the problem is AI didn't know when to stop, and a lot of confidential information got out, which is why this news came into picture. This is not to scare us. This is only to let us know that this particular technology is evolving very fast, and we need to be aware of what could go wrong, so as to take steps to prevent it in future. I hope that's clear. We are not trying to scare anyone. We are not into the fear mongering. I come from IT, and I support tech enablement at all level. What we want to be aware of is what could go wrong, which many of us are not aware of in our day-to-day life. Many of us might not know about these news, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hope I clarified the doubt.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay, please stop me. I wanted it to be an interactive session. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there in Bombay because of health reason. But let this be an interactive session where all of us can collaborate. And then there is vulnerability to cyber attack, because we are giving access to cameras, we are giving access to audio. There are multimodal AI, which means that it will take your image, your voice, and your text at the same time, right? You don't need to develop different technologies. One single AI can have multimodal capabilities, which increases our threat sphere. So a lot of us used to wear, step counter, right? Now, if it is communicating to a cloud where our heart rates are getting stored, it gives actually, it opens up to cyber attack, right? So these are the risks in a snapshot. Any questions on this slide? None? All right. So this is quite a simple slide, right? We are aware of it. What we need to do now is we need to have these key considerations in mind when we are adopting technology or when we are developing standards, right? We need to have comprehensive global standards, because few countries, maybe say, for example, 7 or 8 countries come together and they create an AI framework for everyone. That might not be good for the rest of the countries, right? There are many other countries which have their own consideration. India is on a growth path. Our folks keep on saying that, we can't stifle innovation. We need to foster innovation. We need to democratize knowledge. We need to democratize access of the digital public goods for everyone, right? So how do we do that? We do that by being part of these AI frameworks being created, these standard making bodies, and we need to ensure use of ethical AI. Now, what is ethical AI? Ethical AI is a model which was trained with ethical data, right? It was not, the data was not scrapped, or it was not taken from a black market of data, right? So ensuring the use of ethical data, we should ask, is this technology using ethical AI, right? Is it using ethical AI from tech perspective, from a modeling perspective, from a data perspective? Was the data collected fairly and ethically, right? And is it going to continue it over the period of time when people are going to continuously use AI? Because AI does not stop, right? It keeps on learning. It learns with us. It learns our behavior as well. So how ethical is the AI that we are using? That has to be a key question that every one of us should ask. Promoting transparency. Where is the model from? Who developed this model? Where is the data going? Is it going to a country where it might be used for a bad purpose? Fostering innovation is how we all grow, and how we take consideration from all angles. It is not just a lab angle, it is not just from industry perspective, and it is neither from a government perspective only, right? So we foster innovation, we democratize model building, we democratize the model training. These are the only way in which we'll be ready for a future with AI, where our data is protected, our cells are protected, and we are on a sustainable growth path. So this was my presentation. I'll end it with a quote by Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, who's our Union Ministry for Electronics and IT. He has mentioned that we have two models before us. Either we go the Europe way, which is stifling innovation, or we go US way, where we don't regulate at all. What we need to do is we need to find a middle path and take that middle path to flourish. And that's the end of my presentation. If there are any questions, we can take that. Thank you so much.
Anybody have any questions? Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for providing importance of AI and the risk associated with it, as it is very important to know any type of advantages and disadvantages associated with any type of resource provided. Thank you, ma'am. Finally, I would like to invite Mr. Manikandan K, Head WRL, BIS. He is professional with over 17 years of experience in standards development, conformity assessment and testing activities at the Bureau of Indian Standards. He has a proven ability to manage complex standards projects under tight deadlines, lead efforts in ISO and IEC technical committees, and collaborates effectively with the stakeholders from industry, communication, government and academia. With a strong technical background in electronics and communications, he specializes in IT/ICT, digital transformations and emerging technologies, and is currently heading the Western Regional Laboratory. He will share his insights on AI, the critical role of standards. So I request, sir.
So my presentation is being loaded. Let me tell you, on one hand, we are celebrating the World Standards Day. This is a precursor to the event. And on the other hand, we also wanted to create a networking platform for all of you. So that's the very reason we limited the participants to the laboratories around here, as well as the equipment suppliers. So it will be, I thought it's going to be a better combo, like soda and whiskey. Right, you can interact and maybe can get some business for both of you, right? And my presentation is a little lengthy, but I'll try to make it fast because some of the points that I wanted to discuss has already been shared by the previous speakers. And my presentation will be mostly around the standards, role of standards, why it is important to have standard and what benefits we all can have by doing things in a standardized manner. Okay, so we can start. Next slide. So this we have already discussed how AI being the technologies being leveraged in all these areas, leveraged by industry, how it ensures sustainable manufacturing. The use cases are available. Some of them we have already discussed, how AI is used in energy optimization, in supply chain management, in smart cities. So we have already seen some of the examples from the previous speakers. Next slide. Just to start or just to emphasize why need to have standards on AI, I would like to ask this very question. Where does intelligence begin? We all say artificial intelligence. So what is the criteria? If I ask a 3-year-old kid, what is 13 plus 18? And if he or she answers this correctly, we may call them intelligent. We may call them smart. If I ask you the same question and any of you answered it correctly, am I going to call you intelligent only because you answered the question? Probably no. In both the case, the input was same, the output was the same. But still we call one system intelligent, it's the 3-year-old kid, and the other system, the adult, we may not call. So it's very tricky situation. And these days, move to the next slide. We hear the term AI based a lot. You buy a camera, it's AI based. You buy a washing machine, it's AI based. It's often used in a way exaggerated term. So we don't know how much is AI or what is AI, what to call, what not to call AI. So by having a benchmarking, like basically some way we can relate it to automation. So to what extent of the functionality is done by the machine and to what extent the functionality is done by human being. So that could be one way of benchmarking so that everyone will have same understanding what is AI. Next. So this is taken from one of the standards that we published, ISO IEC 22989 on AI concepts and terminology. So this gives levels of automation in a standardized manner. So having this kind of benchmarking help all stakeholders to have a common understanding. So somebody, when they say my system is AI based, you can just look at the chart and see to what extent the autonomous activity is happening in the system. So this is one way of, one example where standards can help AI. Next slide. And we all know all AI systems are software systems. And we already have hundreds of standards on software system. You take any aspects of any software system. We have standards for life cycle, software life cycle, system life cycle. We have standards for software quality. We have standards for risk management or data quality. So all AI systems or software systems, still we need standard. Why? So because AI has its own challenges, its own specific nature, specific risks and challenges. Next. So here we can see some of the challenges as listed here. The data used for building the AI model may not be true or appropriate representation. If you are not training the AI model with correct or the appropriate data, the response will be different, right? And maybe the data set we may be training the AI system using appropriate data, but over a period of time, the context may change. So we need to retrain it. So it's another challenge, right? And AI system scale and complexity, it treats a lot of maybe billions or trillions of parameters. And that is housed in a traditional software module, which is not initially developed to handle such a huge data. So these are some of the challenges. And again, you can see a higher degree of difficulty in predicting failure modes, privacy risk, which has already been discussed by previous speakers, and increased opacity and concerns, all this, right? You can skip this slide. And these are some of the collected points from different standards. Like bias is, I know many of you may have heard about the concern over bias in AI systems. Like based on if you, the model, the data you use to train the AI system, if it is biased, it will produce biased outcomes. So these are kind of concerns. Many kinds of bias are there, and it raises security threats, privacy concerns, and unpredictability. These are AI specific nature challenges, which is not a big concern in traditional software. So that's why we need standards. Next. And let's look at the regulatory framework. Next. So there are many countries, these are only a few of them, have already published or implemented regulation or legislative laws around AI. These are some of them, like in Australia, we have Ethics Principles Framework, Canada AI and Data Act, European Union EU AI Act in 2024, and in India, we have National Strategy for AI. There are many more. If you look at all these regulations around AI, next slide, some of the key concerns, all of them are trying to address are these points, like human rights, human values, like AI system, after all, it's a machine. It may not understand what we value. Like you have seen the movie Rajinikanth starrer Robot. The AI, the robot is saving a lady without realizing what is her value, right? So that kind of situation can arise. It's very much practicable. Then inclusivity, safety, security, and moreover, if you look at the last two bullets, many of these regulations emphasize on having transparency, explainability, and responsible development of AI. So, and trustworthiness is another key concern mentioned in many of these regulations. So that is where standards play a key role, like creating common understanding among all consumers, all stakeholders, and develop interoperable and coherent AI applications. And standards can help mitigating risks, and it can ensure robustness, promote fairness, accountability in decision making, and it can also help in protecting privacy. And in the coming slides, I am not discussing, there is a dedicated committee within BIS working on developing standards in the area of AI, and it has already published more than a dozen standards in this area. I'll be, just to highlight, I'll be taking some 3 standards in the slides, just to give you an update or a feel of how it looks like. because we know what is a standard in a typical product ecosystem. We all mostly oriented towards that. But when it comes to a technology and kind of emerging technology, how the standards looks like in this area. So I just want to give you a feel of it. So this standard, ISO IEC 22989 AI concepts and terminology. So this standard provides a common language and understanding of fundamental concepts in AI ecosystem, and it also defines all the concepts in an ambiguous manner. And the standard again covers different verticals of AI. It also defines the concepts related to machine learning, neural network, natural language processing, all these. Next slide. So these are some of the terms defined in this standard. What is AI, what is AI agent, what is AI component, what is machine learning, algorithm, model. So all these concepts are clearly defined. Now we may have a natural question. All these things are available in textbooks. Why do we need to define all these things in a standard? And in any Indian standard or any standard, by the way, the definitions are most fundamental thing and most important. Because unless we define it unambiguously, there won't be common understanding. If you look at the definition of the very definition of AI in Wikipedia, in Forbes, in any other website, IBM, Microsoft, you will find different definitions based on their priority, their expectation from the technology. So standard gives a generic common definition which is agreed by global experts, which is agreed by most of the countries across the globe. So that's where the standard outweighs the definitions or concept described in other systems. Next. And this standard also describes the players in an AI ecosystem, like who is an AI provider, who is a platform provider, who is a developer, who is a user. So all these concepts are clearly defined in this standard. And it also provides, describes the life cycle of an AI system, like any other software system, starting from inception, design, development, deployment, till retirement. It gives, it describes all the stages of AI system, and it also gives the process requirement in each of the stage. You can see the diagram on the left side gives the details. Next slide. And here is another standard, ISO IEC 5338, AI system lifecycle processes. So this standard defines AI system lifecycle based on machine learning concepts and heuristic systems with AI specific modifications. I don't know how many of you know it. So in the software industry, there are foundational standard listed here, ISO IEC 15288 and ISO IEC 12207. These two standards, the first one defines the system lifecycle along with the associated processes, and the second standard defines the software lifecycle. So these are foundational standard used by all software industry, all software developers. And what this standard does is, because the foundation of an AI system is software, so it defines a software system lifecycle. It merges, blend software system lifecycle with the concepts in these systems in three categories. Okay, can you just come back to previous one? No. Okay, next. So basically what it does, it identifies what are the differentiating factors of a typical AI system from the traditional software system, and these are the characteristics. So some of them are described here. Measurable potential decay, potentially autonomous, iterative requirement, I'd say probabilistic in nature, all these things. Next. And it is highly reliant on data, knowledge intensive. So it differentiate this standard, what are the factors that is different from the traditional software, and then it classifies the processes in the life cycle based on generic processes, modified processes, and AI specific processes. So wherever the process is generic, it states the same requirements as applicable in software is applicable here as well. And certain processes with certain, go to next slide. So it is available in this block diagram. You can see in all life cycle stages, in every stage there are number of processes. It is further drilled down like number of tasks to be performed and what is the outcome expected. That is the way the software lifecycle standard is defined. So what it does, what are the processes that is that doesn't need any change from the traditional software model, and then what are the processes that require slight modification, and what are the processes which are completely new and which are specific to AI. So this is how the standard describes the life cycle, and by doing that it aligns the processes of AI system with that of traditional software while bringing more clarity. Otherwise there is no reference book. All developers may be referring to traditional software, ending up in doing things in different manner. Yeah. Here is another standard, ISO IEC 24028. Overview of trustworthiness in AI. So as I mentioned, in all the regulations, this is one of the key concern all the regulatory bodies are trying to address through regulations, right? So this standard approaches provides a way to establish trust in AI system through transparency, explainability, and controllability. It also provides an approach to assess and achieve availability, resiliency, reliability, accuracy, safety, security, and privacy of AI systems. Next. So it defines, the standard starts with the definition of trustworthiness. What is trustworthiness? It's ability to consistently meet stakeholders' expectation in a verifiable manner. That's the keyword. So, and if you look at the standard, this is how the standard is oriented. It initially describes the AI ecosystem, what are the stakeholders, who are the stakeholders in AI ecosystem, and it identifies all the stakeholders. Then it identifies the assets. Asset could be data, it could be your model, it could be your hardware, it could be your softwares, everything is an asset. So it identifies all assets and stakeholders. Then the standard identify what are the high level concerns that is to be addressed to ensure trustworthiness. It says governance, responsibility, safety, these are the high level concerns. Then it drills down to the AI specific risks and challenges that we discussed earlier. Then it also suggests mitigation measures to ensure transparency, explainability, controllability, resilience, and robustness. So this is how the standard is oriented. So bringing a lot of clarity for all the players in the AI ecosystem. You may be a software developer, you may be an AI system user, you may be a platform provider. It's equally applicable for all these players. So these are the mitigation measures given in the standard. Next. And there is another brand new standard which is AI management system. ISO IEC 42001. So we all know QMS 9001 series of standards. So it is aligned in the same manner following the ISO high level structure which is followed by all management system standard. And it specifies the requirements and provide guidance for establishing, implementing, maintaining, and continually improving AI management system within the context of the organization. Next. So why do we need a management system for AI? So this slide says the use of AI for automatic decision making, sometimes in a non-transparent and non-explainable way, can require specific management concern beyond the concept of classical IT systems, right? And the use of data analysis, insight, and machine learning rather than human coded logic to design system changes to design. And the system changes the way that such systems are developed, justified, and deployed. So this is slightly way away from the traditional software development. And AI systems that perform continuous learning change their behavior during use. So these are the reasons why we need a management system. Next slide. So in this management system, it also identifies some of the processes that require special care, and it is well described in this standard. And this is one deviation from other management system standards. You will see this in Information Security Management System Standard, ISO IEC 27001, the concept of control objectives and controls, which is not available in any other management system standards. So what it does, it prescribes a set of control objectives and appropriate controls in the annex. And as you can see in this, one objective for the AI management system is say provide management direction and support for AI systems according to business requirement, right? That means integrating, aligning your AI process management with that of organizational goals. So these control objectives and this controls A22, A23, A24 gives some guidance toward to achieve that. So it says AI policy, the organization shall document a policy for the development or use of AI systems. And it says A24 review of the AI policy shall be reviewed at planned intervals. And in like that, in A3 internal organization, what is the objective? To establish accountability within the organization to upload its responsible approach for the implementation, operation and management of AI systems. So it again provides a certain set of controls to achieve that objective. So this is only an extract from the annex of the standard. It gives a lot of such controls in annex. So in summary, we can say that provides a clear guidance to all the top management how to establish, implement and continually improve the management system. Wherever you may be a AI developer, you may be a AI user, it's not necessary that we all develop AI. We may be using AI in an organization. It's equally applicable for any organization that use or consumes AI as a service. So these are the standards I identified to highlight in this presentation. And the next slide, please. There are a couple of other standards that is already published by BIS. These are, as you can see, all of these standards are adopted from ISO standards. That means, the BIS is actively contributing to the development of standards at ISO level. And once they publish it, so while publishing the standards at ISO level, we ensure that all India-specific concerns are addressed there itself at the international level. And once the standard is published at ISO level, we adopt it as Indian standard. So all these standards are adoption of international standard, thereby ensuring harmony, coherence with global standards. And you can see the last one in the table, bias in AI system. That's one of the most debated concerns in the AI ecosystem. So that is in the process now. We will be publishing that standard soon. Next. Yeah. LITD is the name of the committee. So it's a code. Code is given to all committees in all technical committee. We call it sectional committee in BIS. L stands for electronics for some reason, right? And LITD stands for electronics and IT. The last one is under development. All the other standards are already published. Yeah. And in conclusion, I want to highlight some of the benefits of standards. So as you can see, standards gives enhanced transparency and trust to all stakeholders, and it help us to mitigate risk. It help us to develop responsible AI, develop and deploy responsible AI, and it help us to optimize the performance. And it also beneficial, it is equally beneficial for investors, customers, employees and regulators. Next. So this is what I want to say at the end. AI systems are evolving rapidly and hold immense potential to revolutionize various industries. maybe as an organization or as an individual, we all will be into that technology sooner or later. And ensuring responsible and trustworthy development of AI is crucial, and standards provide a robust framework for developing and deploying safe, reliable, unbiased AI systems. Thank you. So if you have any queries, I can take it now. Who? Lavanya ma'am, do you have any query or suggestions?
I just wanted to highlight something. None of the standards developed currently are speaking about guardrails, right? They speak about the theoretical aspect of it, but they don't have practical guardrails yet. So that is under development, and a lot of countries are contributing to the development of those guardrails and frameworks. That's
Okay,
the only point I
ma'am,
wanted to
some
add.
of the standards are still currently under development at international level within ISO. It may be already taken by ISO. I need to check it, ma'am.
Right, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you, sir. Thank you for providing the role of standards on AI. Now, anybody have any questions? They can ask if anybody have any question from this session. Okay. As we continue our journey, I am pleased to announce a special session on the BIS Laboratory Informative Management System, LIMS. This system is crucial for enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness of our laboratory operations, ultimately supporting our commitment to quality and standards. To guide us through this session, we are honored to have distinguished expert with us, Scientist C and Deputy Director, Mr. Anand Bhatt sir. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Anand Bhatt sir for an enlightening session.
Good afternoon, everyone. So many of you are from BIS recognized laboratory. So, huh. So I will give you brief about the BIS portal, and this session is basically for the two new feature added on the BIS website. That is for the BIS NABL analytical dashboard and all India first applications. So before going to that, I will give you a brief about the BIS dashboard that is available in public domain. So you can directly access this. Anybody can access this. It is not necessary that you have a login ID and password for that. You just visit lims.bis.gov.in. Uh, so first of all, the feature is that you can search a lab by its name or IS number. 1 minute. Okay, so by using this feature, you can search any lab by lab name and you can get the details, or otherwise you can search by IS number. Suppose I want to search a laboratory which can test water sample. Then I just write the IS name, that IS 14543, and all the labs which are recognized by the BIS for the water testing are available in the list. Also, you can filter out with the states and district. Like I can for the Maharashtra, I can use filter for state, and in Maharashtra also I can use a filter of Mumbai district, so Mumbai, and search. So all the labs situated in Mumbai which test water sample and are recognized by the BIS are available here. So this is the list. And you can also, the address and the contact details are also available here. And the scope details also available here. So by clicking the view scope, you can check what is the scope of the laboratory, whether it has a complete facility or partial facility. It is visible here. Okay. Similarly, another feature is the BIS labs. So this tab will show the BIS laboratory details. So currently, 8 active BIS lab available in the all over in India, and Hyderabad lab is under construction. So all the details of the BIS laboratories available here. That first is the Bangalore laboratory, Central laboratory, Eastern Regional laboratory, and the contact person and their contact details are also available, and lab scope is also available here. Similarly, we have a network of 336 outside laboratory, which are private laboratory or government laboratory, but not BIS laboratory, but recognized by BIS. So that list is available here in BIS recognized laboratory. Similarly, we have a empanelment. So 64 laboratories are empaneled by BIS till now. So list is available here. Similarly, these are the features that you can use. Now come to the feature of the All India First application. So basically, it is developed because in many cases, All India First applications, the finding the laboratory for the product is a very difficult task. And many a time, laboratory does not know that particular item is under All India First application. So when you open this tab, so currently 55 applications are pending as a All India First application. So for this product, till now, no BIS license is granted. So currently, these are all in a application phases. So you can check here that which ISs are under applications. So IS number, name is available, and also which under which branch application is submitted. And similarly, we have displayed the laboratory details. The number of lab, suppose in first IS 7069, number of lab is 0. So till now, no lab in the India is recognized for this IS. So you can browse through these ISs. Suppose here in IS 1475, so one lab has given confirmation. So that is the Bharat Test House. So Bharat Test House has confirmed that for IS 1475, they have a complete facility. Also the testing time, the number of quantity of sample required, and the testing charges are also available here. So similarly, you can regularly check this portal, and you can check the opportunity whether your lab is capable of tasting particular product or not. So if you have a facility for that particular product, suppose you are checking today 55 applications are under process, and you have a facility for any one of product. So you can contact LRMD, or in your login ID password there is a provision of All India First application. So you can direct intimate over software there. So LRMD will get a notification, and similarly,
So
afterwards,
just a minute, let me intervene. Many a times, some of you, the labs may have, say, 80% test facilities covered through some other IS. So by browsing through, you will get to know these are the new standard where I have already have some of the test facilities. I need to add 1 or 2 facilities to make it complete. So this gives you a better opportunity to plan.
yeah.
Right.
Also, it is also useful for manufacturers also, because if they are applying for the first time and no lab is available, so for manufacturer perspective it is also useful. And here, like in serial number 54 for ISO 5367, so here all the details is available. If facility is partial, then which facility is not available, it is also mentioned here. Uh, Similarly, there is another new feature is NABL analytical dashboard. So here what has LIMS has done is that we have collected data from the NABL. So this tool will show the probability of particular taste facility of particular product. That if you search here like IS 269, that is cement. By searching here, there are the list of laboratory available, and it also indicates the rank. Rank indicates the probability of having a lab a particular test facility. If rank is 1, it has the highest test facility. In IS 269, there are many lab is recognized under the BIS, so all the lab having the facility are ranked at number 1. But from rank number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are not the recognized by the BIS. But from the NABL dashboard, we collected the data, and it indicates the probability that a lab at number 2, that is QC laboratory, JK Cement, have the highest probability of having the taste facility for product IS 269. So similarly, you can search for the product for your laboratory also, or for any laboratory. Suppose I want to check for, like in All India first application, we have list here. So suppose IS 7069, there is a no lab available. So we can search here that IS 7069. Okay. So as per NABL database, for this product, no laboratory is available till now for NABL database. For some cases, it may happen. But if we search for IS 15770, so it is showing the list of almost 31 laboratories which have a possibility of having taste facility for IS 15770. So number 1 lab is the quality control laboratory, that BPCL. So there is a probability that BPCL laboratory have a facility for this product. So it is a very easy tool for identifying whether you have a facility or not. Okay. No, it is the ranking based on the availability. The lower the rank, higher is the probability. And the higher the rank, lower is the probability.
But however, they are having the test facility, correct?
Yeah, possibility. Not, it is not confirmed that they must have a facility. They might have a partial test facility, or they may have a test facility for similar product. But this product is a heating oil.
So many a times it so happens, as we don't have any licenses for that particular IS, the lab may not have approached, lab may not have included that IS in the scope of their recognition with BIS. Whereas they may have been recognized by NABL for many parameters in that IS. So that may be one of the reasons why certain things are ranked 1 or 2, maybe based on the parameters mapped with NABL. So even we don't have the technical details how that is being ranked. So that is why some of them may be partial, some of them may be complete, right? Yeah, this is integrated with NABL portal. We are accessing their database and displaying it here.
One is understood, one is something which has complete test facility and which is recognized by
No, Most likely, these are probability. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we can have an open discussion if you want. For okay, okay. Some of the questions we will be able to take up, but some of the questions we may have to reach out to our LRMD department because we don't have complete data or all the information which we may require, right? That's it. Suppose we are getting some issues on the code, again code generating query, so that can be discussed. You have to write to LRMD, so we cannot answer you. Okay. As we came to the conclusion of this enlightening Mahotsav, I would like to take a moment to extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of Bureau of Indian Standard. Thank you once again for being part of this important Manak Mahotsav. To mark this auspicious day, I request our speaker to accept a memento as a token of our shared journey. May I request Head Western Regional Laboratory to present the memento to our distinguished speaker, Mr. Rahul Srivastava. Thank you all for your participation, and we look forward to our next gathering. Yes, sir? Okay. And we have our speaker through video conferencing, so I also thank them also. Now, I want respectfully seek permission from Head WRL if there are any final remarks or consideration. We would be grateful to hear them.
No special remarks. Thank you so much for being part of us by participating in this important event. So although it's a precursor to, as I mentioned, this is a precursor to the main event that is happening on Monday, 14th October in the SEEPS building, Bharat Ratnam nearby. So I would also request, if possible, all of you to be there. So anyone can walk in there, so you don't need any special invitation. I know that is coordinated by our region office, so some of you may not be getting proper invite. So please feel free to join us there as well. And once again, thank you all. And we intend to organize similar small programs. The intent is more than this kind of technical discussion. Of course, this is also very important. In addition, we also would like to create a platform where the like-minded people can discuss, and maybe you may find solution to some of your problems. So that's another intent. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. With your permission, we will now close this session. Have a wonderful afternoon. And